Hello guys and welcome to Painting Panzers. My name is Christian and today we're going to be taking you through how I paint my 172 Italeri Winter Germans in a variety of different camouflage patterns. So this is going to be part one of a multi-part series. I'm not going to call it an official series, but it's a series of videos where we're going to go through different camouflage schemes. So today, as I said, it's part one, and part one is going to cover the Oakleaf spring pattern. Now, it's probably not the best idea in winter, probably going to stick out, but it was used, so probably hard to see in this video, but don't worry, you're going to see it up close and personal very, very soon. So yes, a winter toy soldier, German toy soldier that is, in 172 scale with Oakleaf camouflage pattern. So let's get straight into it. Now, this particular figure is from the German Infantry winter uniform set from Italeri. This is one of the best sets that they offer in the Second World War range, but I won't go too much into it because I've already got a video on that and you can check that out if you want to. So we're going to be painting up this chap in Oakleaf. Now, his winter parka is going to be in Oakleaf. I'm going to start by base coating that in German camo, pale brown. Now you can go with either autumn or spring. I tend to find myself going with the autumn pattern, which is the brown pattern, so the brown, light brown spots. But for something different, I'm going to go with the spring variant, so the green. Now we will look at the end how I also go with the brown if you want to see that, to skip all the way to the end. But if you want to stick around to see how I paint this whole figure, then please do so. So deck tan is what I'm going to be using for any of the white areas. So he's wearing reversible sort of trousers, winter trousers, so I'm painting them in white. And because the parka is a reversible jacket, I'm going to be painting the hood white as well as his helmet, because again, this is a winter uniformed German. Now, for the dark blotches on the Oakleaf pattern, I'm going to be using German camo dark green. Now, this part is actually quite fun because you can just give yourself a whole variety of different size blotches, different shapes, all over the uniform here, or the parka, and just make them slightly different, add some big blotches, some small ones, and then you can throw in a couple of little tiny little dots as well, just randomly around. And once you've got that done, you can paint his gas mask canister and mess tin in US dark green, and any other similar looking dark green item in this color as well. So potentially like a MG42 ammo box, although I know a lot of those were in dark yellow as well. Now for his bread bag, I'm going to be painting it in khaki, and it's 50 shades of bread bag like the German uniform itself. The bread bags came in a variety of different colours from khaki to greens, so yeah, it's up to you. You can mix it up, paint a variety of different types of bread bags, but khaki is what I'm going to be using today. I'm also painting the strap for the gas mask canister in that colour. Now for his MP44 pouches, I'm going to be using Russian Uniform World War II. Although these pouches look more like MP40 pouches, I do believe the MP44 pouches were slightly curved. Now for any metal areas, I'm going to be painting them in black grey. So there's fantastic detail on this MP44, STG44, however you want to pronounce it. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the actual full way of saying it. But yeah, painting that in this colour, as well as his webbing. So black grey is a really good colour for German black leather webbing. Don't forget the canteen as well, the top of the canteen. And then for the wooden areas, I'm going to be using flat earth. So this guy's obviously got a wooden stock on this MP44. He's also got a bit of a grenade sticking out there, so just got to hit that. And then for his chin strap, I'm going to be using German camo medium brown, and I'll use that for his hairline as well. He's got some hair poking out the back of his helmet, so yeah, try and capture that. So if you want to give him brown hair, obviously, you can change it up wherever you seem fit. Now for his binoculars, I'm going to go with Middlestone. It is an AK interactive paint that I'm using because I don't have a Vallejo Middlestone, but they do an equivalent and it'll work just fine, I'm sure. So English uniform is what I'm going to be using for the fabricy part of the German canteen. It's a really good colour, looks very, very similar to the actual colour, which is awesome. And then black for his boots. So very straightforward, and the figure's almost coming to the wash stage, but there's a few other areas we need to complete first. So one of those is his German uniform that's just protruding out over the top of that Parker. So I'm going to use German Field Grey World War II from Vallejo. I mean, pretty much says what it does on the tin. Really self-explanatory there why I'm picking that colour. Now we can hit it with a wash. So I use New Oil and Lamium or Lafmia Medium from Warhammer. I'm mixing it around a 1:1 ratio and then apply it on. So the black wash isn't too dark, and that thinners just dilutes it enough that it doesn't become like a super black figure. Now it's all about going over what we've painted. So German Camo Pale Brown is what I'm going to be using. So you can see here I'm using a nice fine tip brush. It's a size 1 brush. It's an ionic brush this time from Ammo. Fantastic brush. It's a Kolinsky brush as well, so it's my favourite. And I'm just going through here and just adding in all those nice little details with that German Camo Pale Brown. Just adding in all those details again just to make certain areas pop and leaving that original colour in the recesses, and then doing the same with German Camo Dark Brown. So just going over those dark green, not dark brown, dark green blotches, but leaving any creases. So if the dark green's gone inside of a crease, leave it, don't touch it, but paint the raised area or any of those flat surfaces. Just give it a nice coat over the top. Now here comes the fun stage. The German Camo Bright Green is going to give us all of our nice little oak leaf spots. So you want to do a variety of tiny little dots. People use toothpicks, people use a variety of different things. I reckon a nice pointy brush is great. You can do a variety of different sized dots, making sure they're relatively small. You can put some within the green blotches, put some on the outside of the green blotches, and put a few just overlapping between the green, dark green and that pale brown, and just throw a couple in the pale brown itself as well, those bright green colours. Then you have your oak leaf, spring oak leaf pattern done, and you can move on to the white grey, which is for the winter parts of the uniform. So in this particular case, his winter trousers, going to be painting those in white grey. You can obviously use a different colour, one that's maybe a bit more worn, maybe a bit more like creamy, as if it's stained and stuff. So US dark green and German Camo beige in a 1:1 ratio is what I'm going to be using to highlight or layer his green areas, so that gas mask canister and mess tin. And then khaki and stone grey at a 1:1 ratio for his bread bag. You can see here I'm just taking my time, putting very little amount of paint on the tip of that brush and just letting it, just scratching on and letting it do the work there. And then English uniform and German Camo Beige World War II at a 1:1 ratio is what I'm going to be using for that canteen. And you can already see that this figure's really starting to come together really nicely. Now for the webbing, I literally just go over it again with black grey. That's all I do. I don't add in a lighter colour to make it stand out a little bit more. Black leather is really difficult to get right at a small scale. So yeah, don't try and overthink it. Just go over with that original colour and it will look good enough at this scale. But whilst you've got that black grey, add some basalt grey at a 1:1 ratio, and this is where we can go and give ourselves a nice colour for our metal areas. So in this particular case, the MP44, and you can see I'm just starting to brighten up all those nice little bits of detail on this assault rifle. But I do like to take it just a little step further, so I go with basalt grey, and now this is where I do a highlight. So I'm literally just attacking those raised areas. There's lots of little details on this particular figure and his assault rifle, so it's really worth doing if you've got the time to do it. Also, use German Camo medium brown and orange brown at a 1:1 ratio just to give those STG 40 pouches that brown leather strap. Now for the German Field Grey, use German Field Grey and German Camo Beige World War II at a 1:1 ratio, and you can see I'm just adding in a line on the top of each of those colours there. Now for a bit of fun, use that same colour and just get a dry brush and just dab on some of that paint on the helmet to give it a nice worn winter helmet look. And then we can go with middle stone again. So you can see with this binoculars, these German yellow binoculars, I'm using middle stone. I'm not adding in a lighter color. I'm just going to use that middle stone. It's going to make them stand out enough that I'm happy with it. And then for the wood, I'm going to use flat earth and orange brown. Ordinarily, I would add in a bit more orange brown after this, just orange brown on its own. But for this particular model, he really doesn't have much wood showing, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Now for the flesh, my go-to is AK Interactive, and that is light flesh, especially for Caucasian flesh tones. So yeah, light flesh for me is an absolute winner. And once it's dry, I really love the combination with Flesh Wash from Vallejo. It's a nice pinky red wash, using an old battered brush, but one with a point. I'm just giving it a nice little coat there. And whilst that dries, I add in some black grey buttons on this parka. And there's plenty of details on there, so try and capture those buttons if you can. And then going over those facial areas with light flesh. So I'm painting the nose here, the cheeks and the chin, but I'm connecting the cheeks and the chin together. You're going to see me come down there and then give it some on each ear and a bit of the neck line there. And then the hands pretty much getting repainted as well as each individual finger. Now for the highlight, I'm using light flesh and highlight flesh, and this is where I just add a little line on the nose, a little line across the eye line and down alongside the nose, on the chin, on each ear, and on the line between the neck and the collar, and then each finger and the top of the hand. And then this is how he's come out in his Oakleaf spring pattern, so that's that green pattern. He looks bloody awesome, I think. Now if you want to paint the autumn pattern, you copy exactly what I did before, but instead of using dark green blotches, you use those German camo black, brown, and then add in some orange blotches using orange brown. Now this particular figure isn't a toy soldier, it's an AB figure, but you get the gist. This is how he would turn out if you do the autumn pattern. So yeah, there you go, both patterns in one video. Aren't you lucky? So overall, this has been an awesome video to make. I know this is probably going to be a bit more popular than my other ones because German camo is normally really popular. I've changed my recipe up ever so slightly. I've lightened the base color for that parka, and it's come out a lot better. So that Oakleaf with that pale brown looks so much better than what I was using before, which was like sort of a medium looking brown. So yeah, let me know in the comment section how you found it and how you've compared it to my other videos, and if you're going to be tweaking your recipes to match mine. Yeah, really would be interested to know. Now, could I ask you also to do me a huge favor and give this video a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and if you're new to the channel or you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. It really would mean a lot to me. I want to keep this channel growing with a nice healthy growth, so yeah, any sort of extra subscribers or likes really do go such a long way, so thank you so much if you do go ahead and do that. And also a massive thank you goes out to those members. So that is their YouTube members as well as Patrons and my Panzer Races. So that's Patrick, Oscar, James, Panzer Jim, Lack of Foresight Gaming, Mike, Mikey, Eric, Rothgar, Ian, Adam, Tom, Rob, and Alan. You guys are all champions. Thank you so much for being my aces. It really does mean the world to me. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it here. Please don't forget to leave me a comment below. But until then, I will catch you at the next one.